Hey everyone, thank you for coming to watch my video here on doing my dahlias. I'm not entirely sure if that's the correct way to pronounce it. I hear people saying dahlias, and that's how most people say it. For whatever reason, dahlia comes more natural to me. I have only ever planted dahlias one other time. I overwintered them in my garage, and it was like -45 to -50 this winter, so I don't think they made it. I'm trying to see if I can bring them back to life, but that's undecided at this point. So I did go out to the store and bought some at the local nursery, and I am trying to plant them. Now, I did this a couple nights ago. I did watch a few videos, but even going through all of these, I realized that I probably didn't do something correct. So I'm looking over the bulbs here on this one to see if there's any rotten ones or squishy ones, cut ones, damaged ones. Not entirely sure what I'm looking for, but I'll know it when I see it. And you'll see on this one, what is it, Caproz, Pizzazz, something like that. All of the bulbs in this particular bag were garbage. They were squishy and they were moldy. So I didn't finish recording it, and I decided to bring it back to the store. Now you can see there was some growth on that one. Quite a few of these were really good. I did find out after I went back to the store that some of the majority of the shipment did freeze along the way. So how there is some growth, I don't know, but there is. But a lot of bulbs or tubers were damaged. There was a lot of flies with some of these. So I have to put cinnamon and try to take care of anything in the soil before I continue on with them. This batch looks a little bit weird to me, so I'm going to show you that I did wash my hands between the tubers just in case there was disease with that other one, and time will tell. And I think it was just because it was so moldy and so soggy, and it was before I found out that these tubers had been frozen. So it's possible that that's just the issue, but I didn't want to take any chances. So I did make sure to wash my hands and any of my utility scissors, my shears, or my pruners, there we go, couldn't get the word out. I did make sure that they were clean before I moved on to any additional tubers. And for the next little bit of clip of video, I'm just showing you different kinds of tubers that I have here. I'm just looking them over to see, if there is any damage, kind of like what I said in the beginning, and just really making sure that I don't have any disease that I'm going to be putting into the soil. Now, I am not entirely sure what disease looks like in dahlias now. I know I could look it up. I'm trying to kind of play it by ear. These are all planted alone, individually, in their own separate containers. So if they grow, they grow. I will keep an eye on the leaves structure and the flowers just to see if anything changes. But for right now, I'm just going over all of the bulbs, making sure everything is good and healthy to plant, and I'm going to be removing any dead areas, squishy areas, things like that. My plan for these is to go on the ground eventually, so I will have to keep a close eye on them. But right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to grow plants that I can cut off of these tubers and then replant to increase my stock. As you can see on this final one that I'm planting for the night, there was some growth on there. I was going over to check it, and now I'm just showing you the aftermath of putting all of them into dirt. Now, I did do something wrong, which I didn't show, and that is I soaked this soil. And I did learn the next day that when some of these plants are still dormant, or even just in general, you should not soak them. This is part of my seed journal, my seed starting journal. This is just a planner, And these are the new ones that I purchased when I went back to exchange my other ones. So, these ones I managed to pick out at the store. So that particular brand or species right there was the garbage one that I originally got. So I went through all of the tubers that they had left and I picked out the best ones. They did give me a $20 gift card for having to come back because it's a 35-minute one-way drive there. So they gave me a gift card, which is why I picked up a couple other dahlias. And then here, what I'm going to do is I am just going to trim off some of the poor, um, like the dead tubers and some of the garbage around there. And then I'm going to try to plat that separately, which you'll see coming up. And you can see that I did get that one cleaned up pretty well, and there's some growth on it. So I planted that one into the container as a solo, and then moved on to some of the other ones. As I continue to look over these, make sure they're all good. I did want to state that I did redo all of the ones that I had planted into different soil that was drier. I put them in kind of more of an upright top sown condition so they didn't get rotted out. And I'm hoping that I caught it. They were in there for 24 hours in soaking water or soaking soil. So I'm hoping that I caught it and everything will be fine. Knock on wood, time will tell if there's any growth or if I completely damaged these tubers. So we'll see.